fight fans. So, I want to ask you guys something. What's going on with this whole boxing thing going on with why we haven't got a confirmation for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford? Why we haven't got this confirmation for a Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis? Obviously, I just talked about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight isn't going to happen. Guys, why are these fights not happening? I mean, these things that's going down, this is what's happening. All these fights that we want to see, the fans want to see, that is taking forever to take place, that is just having its own reasons why it's not taking place, is destroying boxing. That's my personal opinion, guys. It is literally destroying boxing. And it's making boxing so much more difficult, so much more difficult to watch. Like, there is just so much wrong with boxing. You know, we could talk and go on and on about why boxing cards don't have a lot of fights. You know, like we look at UFC and you can look at 3 or 4 or 5, 6 fights that you'll want to see. But no, with boxing, it always had just that one pay-per-view fight. Nothing really on the undercard, which is very unfortunate. But we'll go on that later. Of course, we got the controversial decisions with the referee, not with the referee, with the judges, with the judges. That's another reason. And now we got this whole thing with boxing where it literally takes so long, takes years for certain fights to actually take place. Why is that, guys? Because me personally, that is actually destroying boxing. That is it. You know, it almost feels like so many fighters are afraid to lose. So many fighters really want to play the safe route, to play that route where they can actually win, look good, make easy money, and that's it. They don't have to define themselves. They don't have to fight another great fighter in order for them to define themselves as being great as well. It's just by them being at that zero, by them being undefeated, and by them continuing to beat low-level opponents, having that like, hey, let's go in there, let's not get hurt, let's make some easy money, and let's keep our old record. Guys, that is literally the absolute worst thing we can do in boxing, because we've been seeing that a lot more lately. Really a lot more. Like during the 80s, the guys, the best fought the best. The Roberto Durans or Sugar Ray Leonards, the Tommy Hearns, the Marvel Haggers. You got Tysons. You got the Larry Holmes. You got all these other great heavyweights and great middleweights and great welterweights that were going at it with each other. In the 90s, of course, we could look at the Julio Cesar Chavez's, the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Felix Trinidad's, the obviously again Mike Tyson's, the Lennox Lewis's, the Evander Holyfields. You had Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins. All these guys literally fought everybody, and they would fight very often, and they would not take chances, or excuse me, they would not wait long periods of time to fight certain great fighters. You know, so it's just been, and even in the early 2000s, you know, still the Manny Pacquiao area, the Miguel Cotto, you know, back in those guys, when those guys, you know, when those guys were coming up and they were fighting a bunch of people, even Floyd Mayweather, of course he had his, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, it seemed like he was fighting a lot more, but then when he started making that money, things changed, and that's where I feel like that's where boxing took a turn for the worse, is when people realize, hey, I can make 20, 40, 50 million dollars, and I don't have to get hurt. Now, of course, nobody wants people to get hurt, but unfortunately it's boxing. You're gonna end up getting hurt, you're gonna get hit. It's just the nature of the beast. That's what you signed up for. Now, I'm not saying these guys should go out there and take brain damage and take unnecessary fights. No, but they shouldn't be taking forever to take place a fight. Like this Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis, this is a fight that should have happened a year ago, maybe even longer than that. These guys should be literally on their third fight. You know, what happened to that, guys? What happened? Look at the Manny Pacquiao and the Barrera and the Morales and the Marquez. Literally nonstop action, rematch after rematch after rematch, and those fights got even better and better and better. So it's like, this is what it should be like, and it's not like that today. It almost feels like these guys really want to make this marinate long periods of time so it could become big, and they don't have to do it again and again and again. And it's really becoming a dull for boxing. I grew up watching boxing. I love boxing, and it's really destroying it. The worst is Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. That's the fight that should have been made a long time ago. Again, these guys should be on their possible part 3. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, these guys should be on their part 3 as well. You know, we remember the the Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali, their trilogy and their back and forthness. You know, the George Foreman Muhammad Ali, the freaking Ken Norton Muhammad Ali. You know, the list goes on and on and on. You got Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran going all the way to part 3. Same thing with Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. Just these guys, it's like there's so many great epic fights that we could talk about, but now we could look back when we get older and we look back at this time, what great epic fights are we going to remember? You know, what great epic fights are like, oh my God, that was one hell of a fight. I remember that fight when that fight took place. No, it just seems like everyone is literally trying to do that safe route and trying their best to take the less chances, make most money, and go out. Now, I get it. It's smart. But I promise you, no one's really going to remember it. We remember these names because of the chances they took in the ring. Hey, you say you're better than me? Well, you know what? Let's go in the ring and let's prove that you're better than me. That's the way Muhammad Ali was, Sugar Ray Leonard was, Roberto Duran was. Then you go in the next generation, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley. In the next generation, the Moraleses, the Barreras, the Pacquiaos, the Miguel Cottos. You know, even in those early days, Canelo was doing that as well. So it's just driving me so crazy on why boxing is the way it is now. Why it takes so long for fights to happen. Why it's so hard to make these fights take place. You know, it's like, why? That's my big question. I would like to hear what you guys think and what you guys have to say regarding this. Why do you think boxing is the way it is? Is it because of the money? Because these fighters are greedy and they just want more money? Is it because these promoters are literally trying to save their fighters from losing so they don't lose their money? Is it because, you know, they are trying to play it safe until they get bigger money payday fights? I don't know. There's so many reasons. There's so many reasons that's going through my head right now that I really would like to know why. I would like to hear what you guys think, and what I would like to hear what you guys have to say regarding why boxing is where it is today. Please, guys, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.